think what we observed was that the awareness to these technologies is really lagging. And I think these platforms like this is one of those initiatives where we can actually understand the technology part, we can understand the vehicle ergonomics, aesthetics, and look at what we need, and try to spell out what we need so that people like us who are actually in the vehicle manufacturing space can come up with the right kind of product. What I would like to quote Steve Jobs this thing, though he is not no more. He said that customer doesn't know what he wants. It is what you offer to him and he will accept it. So I think having said that, but there are certain expectations around customers' behavior. Customers have tasted something already. There are vehicles running on the road, internal combustion engine vehicles, which have certain functionality, certain performance level, which we are all aware of. And young people like you are, I'm sure, performance driven. You want vehicle to be belching out smoke out of it and really thrusting. So there are certain benchmarks which are established in the ecosystem. So we need to certainly look at those benchmarks and look at how best we can achieve with the limitations what we have. So I think I don't have to talk more. I think all the eminent speakers have spelled out very correctly what we are, why are we sitting here. One important point why electric mobility we are talking is that India and China, if you look at, these are the fastest developing countries in the world. They really pose a challenge of energy demand. I had a slide to show you where it is said that by around 2030 we will be around tripling our energy demand. And if you look at petroleum is the major source of energy, at least for transportation sector. Around 80% of the total energy from petroleum is consumed in transportation sector. We are importing around 80% of petroleum, and therefore we are increasing our import bill, and we are really in a deficit in terms of import export. So these are the things as a nation we need to look at. And I am very pleased to tell you that study which we did, that culminated as a mission plan. Recently, Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, inaugurated National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. I have left a copy of a CD with the Vijay Institute. You can of course download the same from the Department of Heavy Industry, Government of India website. This mission is actually taking care of all the concerns, listening to all the concerns, putting it together, consolidated, and then came up with a blueprint as to what we should be doing for promoting electric mobility. So when we talk about electric mobility, we are not only talking about pure electric BEVs, so to say. We are talking about range of powertrain, electrification powertrains, right from mild hybrid to strong hybrid to plug-in hybrid, and so on and so forth. So just to give you an example what plug-in hybrid means and what strong hybrid means, I don't know whether you have heard about a vehicle called Toyota Prius. It's a vehicle from Toyota, which is a plug-in hybrid. So it is a feature of both electric vehicle and a feature of internal combustion engine. So it's a hybrid of internal combustion engine and battery technology. So the advantages we have in those is that it overcomes the concerns of a consumer of limitations. What happens when the vehicle is, the charging goes off and we are stuck in the middle of the road. So all those things in terms of technology, we have various technology options we are looking at in terms of this mission plan. Electric vehicle technology is one of those options and the technology. Now all these different technologies will actually be useful for various kinds of vehicles we have. We have a country of two-wheelers. Around 25% of vehicles are two-wheelers, and it has clearly came out that two-wheeler can be electrified 100%. So we have a BEV for two-wheeler which can be developed very conveniently and very in a very affordable manner. But on the other hand, if you look at bus, the low-flow buses what we have in Delhi typical are not very akin for battery technology, because we have to have a high capacity battery. Ampere hour we need to have around, if I'm not mistaken, around 100 kilowatt hour, 160 kilowatt hour battery capacity we are talking about for a bus to run, and that too in the harsh conditions like Delhi temperature and all those things. I think it is not very much possible to have those technology for buses. So we need to look at other alternate technology. So the solutions are hybrid technology. So in a sense, therefore we are talking about range of technology in electrification. So I leave it at that, and I will invite all of you to throw us questions, hard questions on Dr. Amrish on the care of batteries.
At least we have clapped. Now, your chance to come up with the questions, suggestions, whatever you may have from the end user perspective or whatever it is. उसकी चार्जिंग लाइफ बहुत कम होती है, मैं इसलिए नहीं खरीदना चाहता, या हर घंटे में चार्ज करना पड़ता है, बीच में गाड़ी खराब हो तो कौन ठीक करेगा, उसकी 1 लाख की बैटरी कौन रिप्लेस करेगा, whatever it is, whatever comes to your mind. Whatever thing that comes to your mind, whatever suggestions you have, if in case you have to buy electric car, what is the first thought you will have in your mind? What is it? Yeah. Can we have the mic over there?
So the pickup of the car.
Okay. Can you be more specific by pickup? Because हम कहते हैं pickup बहुत fast होना चाहिए, right? What is it that you are looking forward to in terms of pickup? Something you just start and it just picks up like 0 to 60 seconds, 0 to 5 seconds में वो 60 पे पहुंच जाए. Agreed, but in a city like any metro, go to any metro, 60 तक गाड़ी पहुंचती नहीं है यार. Especially if you go to Bangalore, I still remember for 2 years I could not drive in the 5th gear. वो 4th तक पर पहुंचता ही नहीं था यार, 30-40 से कभी स्पीड पर जाता नहीं था, तो पिकअप तो मुझे आएगा ही नहीं कहीं उसमें. Okay, good. Okay, so you'll go for the pickup part. That is the first thing you'll have in mind. Okay, good. Your name?
Siddharth.
Siddharth. Okay, anybody else? Yeah?
If it, let's say it gets discharged after 50 kilometers, then we have a system of dual technology, put it on CNG after that. Then we have something like that with dual engine, with electric and
So I think Saurabh just raised. Saurabh, would you like to reply on this? Saurabh?
Yeah. But will it be dangerous if we have CNG being supplied with lithium and it blasts with that? Yeah. Okay, simultaneously charge it then. How much is the power output of that? No, I'm just asking like horsepower if you talk about, or yeah.
Can I have your name, please? Sanjay. Yeah.
So just a concern as electric vehicles are not very high-speed vehicles, so more or less boys and men will not prefer it. I have seen Reva is used by only women most. So a family when decides a woman or a girl who and the daughter is running a car, the security and the safety is the one prime important. As far as it get discharged or whatever it is, hybrid, and you know if it is a kid's car, and every time you can't have 100% surety कि वो उसमें CNG भी है और petrol भी है, and something like this happens. Is it like we have petrol filling station? I am not aware of very much of these cars, so I apologize for my ignorance. So like we have petrol filling stations. We have enough support system for charging because you said 1 hour charging is required, but like we have mobiles.
Right.
हमें 1 घंटा चाहिए या 2 घंटा चाहिए कि बस emergency का मैसेज देने के लिए भी थोड़ा सा चार्ज हो जाता है. So something like this because viable, economic and ecological. These are the 3 things which comes to my mind. So another second aspect is lithium cadmium batteries. Is there any disposable policy also because it is otherwise another toxic substance? So like BMW and those much cars have stamped on it that how it will be disposed. The car company will take it back, 1 lakh worth. So what are the things? Because these are things which matters to a consumer as a economic. Because yes, electricity charge bill is also increasing. I have seen people in my society, they are living on 4th or 5th floor और नीचे खड़ी है कार और हम पार्किंग के पैसे भी देते हैं 3-4 लाख रुपए. आप नोएडा में आप नई सोसाइटी लीजिए, you have to pay for each every extra parking space. So कितनी दूर प्लग है? क्या हमारे जो नए सिस्टम्स आ रहे हैं बिल्डर्स, क्या वो इन चीजों का ध्यान रख रहे हैं?
Dr. Mishra, you want to take up this? Yeah, please. Please. Yeah, please. Let me take the mic. Who's that?
Can I have your name please and your background?
I'm Rajni Mahajan, Academy Coordinator from 9th to 12th in Rukmini Devi Public School.
Okay, I think you have a very great knowledge about the subject and the questions what we have noted here are very pertinent questions.
Thank you so much for noting.
I will try to give you some background. I may not be able to justify your knowledge.
Because these are something which can highlight on promotion of this aspect. Because yes, we can always say for short distances, for market shopping, human cost mostly go. And if you are fitting in CNG, तो आपका जो पीछे का आपका डिक्की स्पेस है ना छोटा सा है. तो अगर आप 1 महीने में एक बार फूड बाजार जाते हैं तो यू कैन सी मीडियम क्लास फैमिली है हमारी एवरेज कार का डिक्की स्पेस भी बहुत छोटा पड़ता है. These are some things कि आपने मैंने इसलिए इतना स्पेंड किया है और मेरी बैटरी लाइफ ये है तो एक इंडियन कंज्यूमर ये चीज़ ज़रूर सोचता है खासकर जब वो एडिशनल के लिए मार्केट खरीद रहा है.
ये बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं और बहुत ही वैलिड क्वेश्चन है. I think the subject is economic, viable economic, ecological, alternative transportation for the country. So I will take your first question on the disposable policy. Maybe that we can take up later because it is not consumer worries about. We can take a question on charging option. I think.
Be worried about disposable policy. European Union, Americans,
No,
if they are going to buy it, it is important. So let's start that Indians should worry about disposable policy.
We already addressed this many times. So Dr. Mishra, maybe if you want to add on that disposable policy, we take it later on. Let him continue with this particular one.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that we need to address those concerns that what happens when the vehicle dies, end of the vehicle policies. We as SIAM and along with government are working on those also. So I will touch upon that also in some brief. Regarding the charging options, I talked about National Electric Mobility Mission Plan. That plan has talked about infrastructure requirements for hybrid and electric mobility. So what is it that we are looking at? So in terms of the demand, the latent demand what we are seeing, by 2020 we are talking about around 6 to 7 million vehicle sales annually of these technology vehicles annually in 2020. Having said that, out of which two-wheeler is going to be the major portion, as we mentioned that two-wheeler, India is a two-wheeler country predominantly as of now with the current economic level of the masses. So if you are talking about so basically two-wheeler is going to be electric vehicle. but the consumption for two-wheeler for an electric vehicle is not going to be as high as compared to a large car or a commercial vehicle or a bus. So therefore, that mission plan also talked about what is the total energy consumption we are talking about, electrical energy consumption. So there, I think, if I remember correctly, in terms of the data, it is about 2 gigawatt extra consumption over 90,000 gigawatt for the country. The current demand for the country is around 90,000 gigawatt or megawatt. I will have to check on that and I can verify. So the electrical consumption is also not going to be very high. There is an interesting finding from the consumers like us that people don't want to charge their vehicles in a public place because of various reasons. We all know we are Indians. We are not very certain whether the public infrastructure will be working fine. What happens to my vehicle if I go out and I don't know whether my vehicle will be there or not. So all those things are there in the psyche, in our psyche, and these are the things which lead us to a indication that we may not need right away the infrastructure which is required to promote electric vehicles. Having said that, this mission also talked about what do we need to change our bylaws, in the building bylaws, what is it that we need. So I think they have recommended in there that we need to have bylaws, building bylaws, where any public building which has to be erected will have to have a charging infrastructure in place, a basic charging infrastructure in place for people to use. Does that answer your question in a bit? Okay. Regarding the, I think space is a concern for electric vehicles. Battery is almost, I think, almost 30 to 40% of the total weight of the vehicle, and that therefore leads to the issue of fuel, to the energy consumption which is required, because the weight increases, therefore energy consumption increases. So battery, so you need to, so it's sufficient, so you need to increase the size of the battery to get the range, but again you are increasing the weight and that cycle keeps on going. So space from the weight side is an issue, but space from a from a compartment, in a compartment where you are sitting and where you will keep your luggage is not going to be an issue, because all the batteries will be on a chassis, nowadays we have monocoque body, so the battery will all be kind of a, it's not going to be a cylinder kind of thing, it is going to be a flat cuboidal kind of thing, and the packaging will be so efficient and effective that it will not take care, it will not destroy the space what we can have. All the vehicles adhere to the safety requirements of the M1 category. M1 category means, I am now going into the technicality of this. There is a CMV, Central Motor Vehicle Rule, which govern all the vehicles which we have on our road. All the vehicles, while getting manufactured, have to comply with those regulations. So there
safety has to be a must. Without that, we cannot even produce public vehicle like this. So that is the first part. Rest everything is secondary. We will get the less pay, but the safety is always the first part. It will not drop. Right?
these are all mandated by the government to comply. Because it is almost like a normal vehicle. The only thing which is changing is the energy source. So there you have internal combustion engine to provide energy to the vehicle. Here it is provided by a battery. I think you have to stay overnight in Gurgaon.
As of now, it works. As of now, Reva, it works. I think it's over about 150 kilometers.
I think it's again a very, I would like to give you a very brief perspective on AC versus the electric vehicle. I think it's a valid question So we claim that I think the range which is declared by a vehicle manufacturer is as per the standard, wherein an AC is not running. So what we actually get and what we actually see as a declaration, there is a large gap, there is a wide gap. Generally, as a rule of thumb, it is mentioned that if the AC is on, the electric range can drop down to around 50%. So if you have a declaration around 150, it can actually come down to 75%. So therefore, from Rohini to Gurgaon, if it is around 60 kilometers, you will not be able to come back. Yeah, so I think AC does put lot of pressure on the battery in terms of the energy which it requires. And I'm sure, with advancement in battery technology in terms of lithium-ion battery, which Dr. Amrish, I'm sure he will come up with a breakthrough in this.
I want to add on one point to raise that up down to Gurgaon and whether it's possible or not. I still remember once I was traveling from here to Gurgaon, the DD was, it's a distance to MT was showing 150 kilometers. And by the time I reached Gurgaon, it was 5 kilometers. I covered a distance of 40 kilometers and it shows 150 kilometers covered. It's because of the traffic. Right? So at times, so this is nobody's hand. Yeah. Anybody else has any gap?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good job.
Just have something in mind which I would like to share with you. I think that every product has a USP to it, and I believe that these are the days of the young generation who are very much sensitive to these issues of the environment and ecology. So I think the electric car should be proposed as an environment-friendly car, and rather than trying to have ACs and everything installed in it, why not have its own features told to the young generation about the benefits of the electronic car? And I'm sure the young generation would come back to this car and see how it works and how it goes forward, because this is the time not to go to the past but to have a way for the future. So let's present your electric car in a manner which is for the new generation and by the new generation. And also, at this point, I would like to add something more, that in India, the weather conditions are such that we have a lot of sunlight. So, I would rather think about a solar car rather than an electric car. Although I am very, nuisance in this area, but I do believe that you can work on something on that as well. An electronic car which has a batteries which could be charged by solar energy rather than other options. So these are just a couple of things on my mind. Thank you so much.
Can I have your name, please?
Upasana.
Upasana. Because most of these points also came up in our previous discussions, and especially the using the electric car the way it has to be for the future, this came up for the first time. If I'm not wrong, right? Thank you. Anybody else has any points, suggestions, queries, doubts? We are done from our side. We are waiting for your input. Yeah. So the first USP of the electric car is the ecology, the environment. That is the first part, and that's why, because of this disposable policy of the batteries, right? This is a big concern, and especially with the China coming into the market with those batteries which are not very ethical, right? It's not gaining that momentum. This is one of the reasons of not getting the momentum also. In case the requirement comes, the manufacturers are also not ready to supply that much because of these issues. So any more points, discussions we have? So then I'm assuming we are done from our side, and I'd like to invite Dr. Mishra again to summarize this, and thank you again to all of you for sparing your time and sharing your thoughts and ideas and suggestions. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Dr. Panwar, Mr. Rohila, and everybody in the audience. It was a wonderful time for all of us, very learning and very stimulating. I have learned so many things from you, so many suggestions. We are organizing this kind of group discussion to learn the points from you. And I believe that engineering is the science of serving the humanity. Because when you say that you have these things to get, it is the job of the engineers to create those facilities for you. I always say medical science is medical science because of the engineering science. Your operation, your everything depends on the equipment which has been created by the engineers. So engineers are that powerful. Doctors are doctors because of the engineers. So we have to really compel the engineers to create all those facilities for you. Ma'am has said the teacher, very loving teacher, for space, for aesthetic point of view, for quick charging, and the other things that and very committed concern for ecological protection. These are well taken point. We are already working on that. We will work with more emphasis on those things. And I request you all, if you have anything, if you think you have missed out, please write to us so that it is recorded, it is reported, and we will incorporate all those points. Thank you for the Director General of this institution, Mr. Singh, and thank you every faculty, thank you my dear students, thank you everybody. Last but not the least, thank you Rajiv for organizing this thing, and this is just the beginning. And thank you very much Mr. Uday Kumar Manna, who is a representative from All India Radio, and he had promised me that for half an hour he is going to capture our program for All India Radio, and he may introduce some of you. ये हिंदी के हैं इसलिए आपसे हिंदी में बातें करेंगे. कुछ अगर बात करना चाहें तो आप उन्हें बताइए, उन्हें बड़ी खुशी होगी और इसका प्रसारण करेंगे. जब प्रसारण होगा उससे पहले हम आपको बता देंगे कि कब प्रसारण होगा, सो यू कैन हियर. थैंक यू वंस अगेन, थैंक यू वेरी मच.